الرحيم يا أيها الإنسان ما غرك بربك الكريم.
Pakistan Stock Exchange, Farooq Khan, board members of Pakistan Stock Exchange, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. So I have 5 slides here, and I appreciate the fact that we are already running little late than the schedule. So I'll try to cover them as quickly as possible. I'll try to stop on those slides where there's some recommendations, which probably if Abdurrahman Rais Sahib is also listening to me, he will take note of.
HBL has been at the forefront of issuance of an international green bond, which was done for WAPTA, the first of its kind for $500 million. Unfortunately, within the local domestic market, the uptake has not really been there up till now, but we're looking to develop in that space as well and go ahead.
Now we will talk about the growing demand for real estate investment trust and its potential. In the panel discussion, Shahid did touch upon when we had TPL REIT, talk about the REIT potential. Throughout the world, a real estate investment trust is a publicly traded company that owns, operates, or finances income-producing properties. To deliver this presentation on the subject, I invite on stage Mohammad Ijaz, the founding CEO of Arif Habib Dolman REIT Management Limited.
The price discovery was a difficult thing for those companies, and the case in point is systems. So for them, it made all the sense to get listed, and they did on certain persuasion. And look, from 3.9 or $4 billion, their market cap today is 123 billion, as my friend also pointed out. So this is something that the internal, so we just confine this slide to two, the external factors and the internal factors.
I would like to briefly introduce what National Clearing Company is doing. National Clearing Company is one of the 3 pillars of the Pakistan's capital market beside PSX and CDC. We do the clearing and settlement for the capital market. We do the risk management, and we are doing many of the other functionalities in addition to the these core functionalities. So National Clearing Company was started in 2004, and after that we have been achieved many milestones, including different facilities which provide the investors ease of doing settlement and the tax and handling many things.
So when we talk about listing readiness at JS Global, when we talk about listing readiness, we look at companies beyond the lens of just regulatory requirements. I think it is very important that we realize that just going for an IPO is more than just raising an investment or going for monetizing an earlier investment that you had made in any project. It is very important that you look at it from multiple facets, and not just that we look at companies this way, we recommend to them as well that this is how you should gauge and prepare for your preparedness for an IPO. And we basically divide it into 3 parts. One is the regulatory readiness, the other is the mindset readiness, and the third is financial readiness.
Young boy of 18 years, I joined and I didn't know what a stock exchange was. So when I was asked to be there, so I didn't know anything about the stock exchange. So I went there. Soon after I started my career, there was a war between India and Pakistan. The East Pakistan was separated. Then we saw the nationalization in 1972 and 1974. Then there were some controversial elections, and as a result of that, the Ziaul Haq's martial law was proclaimed there. So that was the first decade, which in fact was not very good for the capital market in that period. Then in 1980s, in 1978, I became the member of the stock exchange, Karachi Stock Exchange, and then became the director of the Pakistani Stock Exchange or Karachi Stock Exchange then. And I in fact remained and spent about 12 terms in a period of 20 years at the stock exchange. So more than what in fact the stock exchange has been able to attract for listing, alhamdulillah, our team has been able to raise funds about 800 billion rupees for different issues made by government, the private sector, the banking sector. So we have the resolve, we have the full commitment with Pakistan, and inshallah we'll continue contributing for the development of the capital market.
Economy of today, HR is perhaps even more of a competitive advantage than capital. Listing makes intergenerational wealth transfers significantly easier, enabling businesses to thrive and grow across generations, significantly reducing the risk of family disputes impacting the business. And we've seen this particularly, if you look in Europe, for example, particularly even in the US, how intergenerational businesses have thrived over the generations. Listed companies have more flexibility in their capital structures and have greater financing options. And it also allows entrepreneurs who successfully build up companies to be able to share the risk and, of course, the rewards with other investors.
And this works, deals with the concept of empathy, concept of balancing your personal interest with empathy. And this could apply to individuals or the companies as well. Now, going forward, most of the capitalism and capital markets have been propagating, and the objective of the capital markets was to build and promote shareholder value. In 2019, and as we see in all over the capitalist world, we see a lot of haves and have-nots, and the whole blame is put on the capitalism. So in my opinion, it's not the capitalism, it is the way it was practiced that has created problems. So in 2019, the CEO roundtable in USA, which had 181 CEOs of the top US corporates, they sat together.
तो इस तरह की चीज़ें जो हैं हमें इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सपोर्ट करने चाहिए. ग्वादर पोर्ट इज टुडे ईयर्स से हम बात कर रहे हैं, नॉट लिंक्ड with the main highway. अभी भी नहीं हुआ. If you want to bring something in Gwadar, you have to bring it to Karachi and then take it to Sialkot. इसी तरह Thar, I think, is a very promising coal, because उसमें fertilizer भी बन सकता है, गैस भी बन सकता है, उससे डीजल भी बन सकता है. But there is no linkage. एक सड़क ही सिर्फ बनानी है ना Thar field से main road तक, and railways which are also in dismal state in Pakistan. What are रेलवेज का? इट्स वेरी सिंपल. एक ट्रैक की अलग कंपनी कर दें, जैसे मैगी थैचर ने किया था 1975 में. आई वॉज इन यूके एट दैट टाइम. और जो मर्जी अपनी ट्रेन उसके ऊपर चलाए. अब ब्राउनसन भी चला रहा है, स्कॉटिश भी चल रही है. तो वो एक पटरी है, वो उसकी एक अलग कंपनी है, उसमें चलाने दें किसी को जो चलाना है. इसी तरह मेरी रोज़ एनर्जी के मिनिस्ट्री से बात होती है. मैं कहता हूँ एक काम कर दें आप, वो ये है कि ये कराची से पेशावर तक जो आपकी बिजली की तारें जा रही हैं सारी, इसको एक अलग कर दें इसको. इफ़ आई कैन मेक इलेक्ट्रिसिटी चीपर, विच आई विल शो इट यू मुसद्दिक साहब व्हेन वी मीट अलोन आल्सो, कि वी कैन डू दैट मच चीपर, एंड आई मेक ऑल माई इलेक्ट्रिसिटी फॉर ऑल माई प्लांट्स इन हब एंड टेक दैट टू वेर एवर आई वॉन्ट टू टेक. वो कहते हैं नहीं जी आप व्हीलिंग चार्जेस जो हैं वो 12 सेंट दें. अब दुनिया में इट्स डन थिंग एवरीवेयर. कोई 1.5 सेंट लेता है, 1 सेंट लेता है, उसको कर दे. जब वो करेंगे तो ये सारे डिस्को फेल हो जाएंगे.
It gives me immense pleasure to be speaking at this occasion today, especially in the presence of respected Finance Minister Dr. Shamshad Akhtar, who is extremely passionate about the growth and development of the country's capital market. She has been working very closely with SECP to unlock the immense untapped potential of our market, and remained particularly focused towards reforms that can facilitate capital formation and enable issuers to generate funds through IPOs. I thank her for her continuous commitment and availability for capital markets and the SECP. Honorable guests, I believe that a vibrant corporate sector and capital market can serve an engine of economic growth. The IPO Summit is hence a great opportunity for all of you to contribute towards development of the IPO market and overall economy. From the issuer's perspective, today's summit should prove beneficial for all of you in realizing the benefits that can be availed through IPOs and listing at PSX. And then I'll talk about the case study of the AIM market. And that really shows how a small market can actually succeed, and it enables small and mid-cap companies to actually have a real route to become public, to gain all the benefits of being a public market, being on a public market in the same way as large companies. And AIM, I think, was a unique success story, so I'll go into a lot more detail about AIM later. I'd summarise by saying that an IPO is clearly not the only way you can maximise value, but we believe it's one of the best ways. But my message to you today is that it only works if it's properly managed from the very early stage, right through preparation, execution, and to being a fully functioning company. You can do it, but it takes proper management and proper preparation.
We have not been able to develop a single market for the debt securities, which has affected their pricing and which has affected investor participation and investor confidence. So this market, I would like to say, still suffers from many of the inefficiencies which can be addressed and rectified if we can also nudge and converge this market towards a more centralized market, just like that of equities.
Equity raising is a key thing for Pakistan Stock Exchange, because it is Pakistan Stock Exchange, not Pakistan Capital Market. Let me tell you that the total market capitalization of equities is 9.4 trillion. It's around $33 billion. And if you compare the debt, we are working hard on the debt side as well. The total issue is around 600 to 650 billion. And definitely it will be matured as well, so the new debt issues will also come.
For about 15 years as an investment banker in the Middle East, and I saw Tadawul developing in front of our eyes. We are the oldest stock exchange, and they are the youngest maybe in this region. And they have grown, and the one reason was the very proactive approach of government of making sure that every company which is getting any government concession, may it be fuels, feedstock and so forth, were asked to list as well.
Very, very helpful. We will get the visibility, which we, as I said, we deserve more visibility than what we have, because we are a very new company, only 5 years old company, but we have done extremely well. And you will be surprised to know that by the end of the 2024, we will have the largest capacity in Pakistan for the packaging films.
As a company, we had a great experience in different markets, so we have a lot more appetite to take a step forward. But based on my experience, what I've seen, compliance, governance, trust, all that, allows to have a better confidence and image in the market with your customers. And in turn, it's not only the governance or liquidity aspect, it allows you to do a better business, because you build trust with all the stakeholders in the value chain.
I agree with Suhail, and throughout the day we have listened to everybody that there are many advantages. I think as a country, if you see, there are sectors which are evolving. Few sectors have evolved in the past, like banks and other industries, but in the consumer space, in the pharmaceutical sector and many others, they need to evolve, and the mindset needs to be changed from the family-owned business to the professionally run listed organization. So the concept or the idea of listing, I think it's not very well sold amongst the larger industrial owners or the small or to medium enterprises. There are many benefits, as we all discussed throughout the day, so we can generate funds for further growth and expansion. It gives you a long life or perpetuity. The brand image, we can have better corporate governance around it. So there are many benefits, but I think the fundamental issue is to let go the power. This needs to be discussed maybe at a larger scale.
आज जो कॉन्फ्रेंस यहाँ पर मुनक़द की है, CDC, नेशनल क्लियरिंग, पाकिस्तान स्टॉक एक्सचेंज और SECP ने मिलके ये इनिशियल पब्लिक ऑफरिंग या IPO को प्रमोट करने के लिए की गई है। और जैसा कि आप जानते हैं कि स्टॉक एक्सचेंज के अंदर किसी भी कंपनी को आने के लिए जो एक सबसे मेजर रास्ता है वो यही होता है कि वो इनिशियल पब्लिक ऑफरिंग को ऑप्ट करती है, उसके ज़रिए अपने शेयर्स बुक बिल्डिंग प्रोसेस और पब्लिक को अपने शेयर्स ऑफ़र करती है उस प्लेटफॉर्म के ज़रिए, और इसी के ज़रिए सारी कंपनीज स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में आती हैं। आज जो ये कॉन्फ्रेंस हो रही है इसका मेन मकसद यही है कि नए इशूअर्स को, नई कंपनीज़ को इंट्रोड्यूस किया जाए कि किस तरीके से वो इस प्लेटफॉर्म का फ़ायदा उठा सकते हैं, किस तरीके से वो अपनी कंपनी को स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में लेकर आ सकते हैं। और ज़ाहिर है जैसा कि यहाँ मुख्तलिफ स्पीकर्स ने बताया भी कि ये मामला सिर्फ़ और सिर्फ पैसे लेने का नहीं है, बल्कि ये अपनी कंपनी को नेक्स्ट लेवल पे ले जाने का भी है, ये उस मेंटल रेडीनेस का भी है कि आप ये समझते हैं कि अब आप एक फैमिली बिजनेस या एक ऑर्डिनरी बिजनेस नहीं करना चाहते, बल्कि अपनी कंपनी को परपेचुअल बिजनेस में कन्वर्ट करना चाहते हैं। ज़ाहिर है इसमें आने के कुछ रिक्वायरमेंट्स हैं, कुछ फाइनेंशियल रिक्वायरमेंट्स हैं, कुछ रेगुलेटरी रिक्वायरमेंट्स हैं। तो जब आप उन्हें फुलफ़िल कर लेते हैं तो आपको एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म मिल जाता है जहाँ ना सिर्फ आप अपने लिए फंड रेजिंग करते हैं, कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस को इम्प्रूव करते हैं और इन्वेस्टर्स को बाय एंड लार्ज फ़ायदा पहुंचाते हैं और मुल्क को फ़ायदा पहुंचाते हैं। तो मुझे उम्मीद है कि आज की कॉन्फ्रेंस एक अहम संग मील साबित होगी इस मकसद को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए, और बहुत अच्छी पार्टिसिपेशन यहाँ ओवरऑल रही है। स्पीकर्स ने बहुत अच्छे तरीके से मुख्तलिफ IPO से रिलेटेड टॉपिक्स को एक्सप्लेन किया है।
IPO Summit 2024, it's a very good initiative, and it's very good for the local industry and for the new IPOs in future. And if we are having this kind of conferences every 3 months, 6 months, it would be very good for the local manufacturing, because there's a huge potential for the local manufacturer to become IPO, especially after Gaza incident. There are huge space for the consumer product. I wish that we have the good policies for 2 decades, 3 decades from the government, so local industry can do good for the prosperity of Pakistan and for the exports of Pakistan as well.
This has been a very important event at the start of 2024, where we've invited investors, potential guys who are looking at investing in IPOs, market leaders, as well as industry participants, to discuss why IPO, what are the opportunities of the capital markets, and how listing on the capital markets can help companies in terms of their long-term growth potential. We're very thankful to PSX and SECP for taking important steps and some of the reforms that have been done recently, and we continue to support these efforts of the PSX and SECP going forward. And we invite all companies who are looking at raising growth capital to look at PSX and the capital markets, as it's a great opportunity and platform for people to look at and grow their businesses.
ये आज का जो IPO समिट हुआ है बहुत अच्छा है। ये CDC एंड NCCPL के कोलैबोरेशन से हुआ है, और इसके अंदर एक चीज़ सबसे ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ ये है कि जितने भी पाकिस्तान में इस वक्त जो प्रोस्पेक्टिव क्लाइंट्स हैं और उनको जो है वो IPO की तरफ आना चाहिए। और ये प्रोग्राम, इस तरह के इवेंट जो है वो लाहौर में अच्छे खासे हम लोग ने अटेंड भी किए हैं, बट कराची में ये फ़र्स्ट इनिशिएटिव पाकिस्तान स्टॉक एक्सचेंज, CDC, NCCPL एंड SACP का है। और अगर इसी तरह से अगर फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल फ्यूचर के अंदर जो है वो इस तरह के प्रोग्राम्स, अवेयरनेस सेशंस होते रहे कि IPO में जो इश्यूज़ आते हैं इस वक्त कैपिटल मार्केट के अंदर के, लोग IPO लाने से जो है बहुत ज़्यादा जो है वो फेयर होता है उनके अंदर, उनके पास ये फेयर होता है कि यार लिस्टिंग में कैसे जाएंगे हम, पाकिस्तान स्टॉक एक्सचेंज जो है वो उसमें लिस्टिंग की जो अप्रूवल किस तरह होगी, SACP मुझे किस तरह अप्रूवल देगा। तो ये सारी चीज़ें यहाँ पर ब्रीफली प्रेजेंटेशन दी है, जिसमें जो है आकिब सईद साहब SACP और हमारे जो है वो आरिफ हबीब साहब, AKD साहब, इन लोगों की प्रेजेंटेशन हुई है। उन्होंने जो है वो ब्रीफली डिस्क्राइब किया है कि किस तरह जो है वो इस वक्त मार्केट के अंदर जो है वो नए IPOs आने चाहिए। और अगर फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल पाकिस्तान में तो लिस्टेड कंपनीज़ की अगर मैं बात करता हूँ तो इस वक्त जो है वो 574 हैं टोटल लिस्टेड कंपनीज़, जबकि अगर हम इंडिया की बात करें तो 2000 तो पर मंथली बेसिस और ईयरली बेसिस के हिसाब से जो है वो लिस्टिंग में आ रहा होता है, बट पाकिस्तान में रेशो इसका बहुत कम है। और पाकिस्तान में जिस तरह लिस्टेड कंपनीज़ का अगर इंक्रीज़ नहीं होगा तो आप अगर जो आप अब समझते हैं कि जिस तरह आप इस इकोनॉमी को सपोर्ट कर सकते हैं वो बहुत ज़्यादा मुश्किल हो जाएगा। तो सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ इस वक्त कैपिटल मार्केट को बूस्ट करने के लिए वो ये है कि आप IPO ज़्यादा हैं, लिस्टिंग में लोग आएँ, लिस्टिंग को ईज़ी बनाया जा सके। और उस लिस्टिंग के अंदर अगर फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल जो है वो उसमें प्रोसेस को जो है वो आसान बनाया जाएगा तो इन्वेस्टर के लिए भी ईज़ी रहेगा। और IPO में आना और लिस्टिंग के जो प्रोसेस हैं अगर हम उसको कम से कम कर देंगे तो ये बहुत अच्छा रह जाएगा।
हम लोग PSX के IPO समिट पे हैं और एज अ गोल्ड प्लेटिनम स्पॉन्सर हम लोगों ने पार्टिसिपेट किया है। और IPO समिट में सबसे बड़ा एडवांटेज है जो न्यू कंपनीज अपने IPOs को लेकर आना चाहते हैं, कैपिटल मार्केट से फंड रेज करना चाहते हैं, उनके लिए एक बहुत अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म है तमाम ब्रोकर्स के कॉर्पोरेट प्रोफाइल्स को एक्सेस करने का। और जो सर्विसेज जेएस ग्लोबल दे रहा है सारी हम शोकेस कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे। तो प्लीज़ आप हमारा स्टॉल विजिट करें और IPO समिट में पार्टिसिपेट करें।